Oh, Minecraft. A game that everybody has enjoyed playing at least once. At least if you're normal. You know, the game where the developers keep making it harder for some reason. The same game that now has Rosa Parks in it. Anyway, this is my 10 biggest things that I hate about the game. Enough chit chat, enough wasting time. I'm not gonna sit here and ramble for 30 minutes. Anyway, let's just get straight into the list. At number 10 is the lag and the stuttering. For some reason, when I'm playing Minecraft on stream, I play on console, PS4, I get it's old, but it still stutters a million times more than any other game I play. And it's just a common occurrence, and it bothers me, and I hate it. And so yeah, we're just gonna move on to the next one. Move on to the next one. At number 9, I hate the menu, or at least the way I move around my cursor on the menu, and to be even more specific, when it comes to changing my skin. I hate the item shop or the skin shop that they have in Minecraft. It sucks, it's laggy, and it's annoying to navigate every single time. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. And I also hate, I'll just go ahead and throw it in there with number 9, two little things, I guess. That's because they're very closely related. Every now and then I'll log on to the game and Minecraft changed my skin for me. Okay, why do they do that? Why do they change my skin for me? It's just absolutely ridiculous. I'm Steve, okay? I wear Minecraft Steve, and that's all I need. Me and my boy Steve, right? That's all. He's my man. You know what I'm saying? He's the boy. He's my boy. I don't need him changed. But every other day, I log on and I'm a random stranger. I'm a random stranger. Anyway, at number 8, the mining experience, part 1. I don't like mining for diamonds, okay? And that's hard to say because mining for diamonds is one of the funnest things about the game, right? So why would I hate it? Well, because my favorite way to go for diamonds was strip mining for an hour straight. And that's how I would get my diamonds every other day. Or if not 9 out of 10 times, that's how I would get my diamonds, okay? But ever since they added deep slate, mining for diamonds has been the worst thing ever. I hate it. I hate every second of digging down in deep slate, feeling like I'm mining with a wooden pickaxe, even though I'm using an iron one. Okay? It sucks. It's horrible. I have hated it since day one, and I hate it on day whatever day this is. I didn't keep track. You guys can go figure that out on your own. I'm not doing the math for you, okay? It's just been a long time. I've played the game a good amount. And after doing this challenge of trying to beat the game 51 times, I'm still, obviously I'm mining for diamonds, and it sucks. It absolutely sucks. Why? They should just make it so that Deep Slate mines at the same speed as stone, so that you can just enjoy mining. They made the game harder, okay? They made it harder when they made strip mining slower, and it bothers me. At number 7, Mining Experience Part 2. Mining for coal is a pain, okay? It's a pain. Ever since Caves and Cliffs, coal no longer spawns at the lower depths of Minecraft. And it sucks. It absolutely sucks. And the same goes for essentially iron, too. If you want when you're going mining, you can no longer go all the way down to diamond level so that you can find diamonds, coal, iron, everything you need. Now it's you have to plan two separate mining sessions, okay? You have to plan two separate mining sessions. One session where you're up on the upper levels of the caves getting coal and iron and go a little bit of gold. Gold spawns down below, but not really iron or much of anything else other than redstone, lapis. But anyway, the big three is coal, iron, gold, and diamonds. And the coal and the iron only spawns in the upper caves, while the diamonds and the gold spawn way deeper. And it sucks that you can't just dig way down into the one level to get all four. And coal just no longer feels as common anymore, okay? It no longer feels as common. You could strip mine for just as long for a set of diamonds as you do for a set of coal. I swear, more often than not, I've gone exploring. I found like a bunch of cliffs with stone on the top of them, and I've gotten more coal from those cliffs than I have from the caves. The only time caves, getting coal from the caves has ever really felt somewhat satisfying is when I have a Fortune 3 pickaxe, which takes forever to get, and it's very, very annoying, okay? Finding coal to mine to have it, it's a pain every time, and it feels like every time I need coal, I'm struggling to find it because I have to find a cave that has a bunch of coal on the surface level of the cave that doesn't immediately go straight down to where coal no longer spawns. Because as soon as you hit deep slate, coal disappears, and you hit deep slate very, very quickly. And with most caves nowadays, it feels like, and it just sucks. It sucks. I can't go on without at least complaining or hating on this any longer, okay? I hate it. I hate mining for coal and diamonds now, okay? I should be able to go down to diamond level and get plenty of both. The rate that coal spawns has to have been lowered or something because it's awful. Having a mine for coal at all, it's just annoying. It's just so bad. And I whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna move on to the next thing I hate. At number 6, the Nether. Anyway, let's move on to the next thing I hate. At number 5, the fog in the Nether. I hate it. I hate it, and I wish I could turn it off every single time I play Minecraft, and I gotta go into that horrible land called the Nether. Okay, the fog limits your vision and you can't see anything. All right, I've traveled thousands upon thousands upon thousands of blocks trying to find Nether fortresses, and I can't find them because I can't see in the Nether. Okay, I can't see it. No, night vision doesn't help, which is stupid. When do we ever need night vision, huh? We rarely ever need night vision for anything, and it's useless where the one time we could actually use some kind of vision enhancement in Minecraft, okay? The fog is the stupidest thing in the game, or at least top 10 stupidest things in the game. I hate it every single time I go to the Nether and I'm looking for a fortress and I can't find anything or see anything because of the stupid fog. Anyway, let's move on. At number 4, the basalt biome in the Nether. It is the worst biome in the entire game. It doesn't provide anything except one building block that you might want to use. You use it to make, I think it's called blackstone, and you can use it to make blackstone bricks, and that's it. It sucks, okay? It only exists to get in your way from finding the Nether fortress, because it's essentially just cliffs and hills, or at least the cliffs of the Nether, because that's all they do. They're just pillars meant to block your way and make you risk dying because there's just little pits of lava everywhere around it. It's stupid. It doesn't actually help you, and it constantly spawns in magma cubes every time you go there. It sucks. It's the worst biome ever, and I wish that they'd remove it from the game permanently. Anyway, let's move on. At number 3, racism. Okay, maybe I should get more specific, right? The piglins are having to wear gold so that the piglins don't kill you and murder you and find your family and blow your house up that you've been paying for 30 years straight. Okay? Why do we need to wear gold, huh? Why did they need to add racism to Minecraft, okay? Oh, these piglins are like, "Oh, you're wearing the wrong color helmet? I'm going to beat you up, grab some hummus, and teach you a lesson." What is wrong with these guys, huh? How is that not racism, okay? Huh? It may not be on my skin, but it's on my skin. It's close enough. It counts. It counts. Anyway, I hate it. I hate that that's a feature, and they should remove it, okay? Why make the different tiers of armor useless in the Nether? Why? Why? It should just, if you needed gold to be involved, just make it to where if you had some on your inventory, they just somehow knew you had it on you, and they were peaceful. That's it. That's all you know what I mean? You don't have to wear or make your armor weaker I guess they just needed an excuse to try to make gold armor more useful, and they forced it down everybody's throat with no choice. And they should be sued for that. Not really, I'm joking. Anyway, I'll move on. Let's move on. At number 2, gaining experience or getting level 30 in experience, okay? That sucks, okay? And it only sucks not just because it takes a minute, but because you have to gamble every time you're at the enchantment table. There's too many enchants for you to be gambling with your 30 levels that took you forever to get. I get it. There's these high tech, highly engineered XP farms. I ain't doing all that, okay? All of that takes like 30 hours to build. I don't want to do all that. I don't want to do all that. And it's like they're like either spend 30 hours trying to build a super complex XP farm or use a glitch or use I don't know. I don't know, right? Either 30 hours building a super complex XP farm or 30 hours gaining the levels naturally, only for you to reach the enchantment table and to gamble those 30 levels every time. Why? Why? All right, the enchantment table needs a buff, or there needs to be separate enchantment tables where one enchantment table is for tools and it gives you all the enchants for tools and tools and armor. The other enchantment table gives you the enchants for weapons or something like that, okay? Because not everybody wants to go on YouTube and look at all these special XP farms and spend 30 hours to build one of these things, okay? It shouldn't be necessary to build that. It shouldn't be. By the way, those things weren't even designed to be in the game. They didn't even think that people would be doing that in the game, okay? They didn't think they were going to be making gas chambers in camps, for enslavement camps for villagers in Minecraft. They didn't think people were going to be doing that or making these super effective Enderman farms. Which, by the way, all of these things take forever to do. All of them. They all take forever to do. And not everybody wants to do that. So they should make it easier for you to gain XP. Because every time, you can't exactly choose what enchants you're going to get on the enchantment table. And even if you were to get lucky in finding like a spawner, a mob spawner, near your spawn or near the cave, near spawn or whatever, you still have to sit there at that mob spawner for like an hour. Especially if you're on console, you're gonna have to sit there because then your game's gonna lag like crazy, and you're gonna be sitting there for another 30 and 40 minutes killing those mobs anyway. And even then, you probably won't even hit level 30. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Anyway, on to the next one. At number 1, respawn anchors. Why does Minecraft have this constant trend where they make the game harder, but they give the players very little reward for that extra level of, I don't know exactly how to say it, but for that extra level of difficulty, okay? Why? Why? They made mining take longer. They added biomes to the nether that ultimately just hid the fortress from you, made it harder for you to find the fortress, and then there's fog. The fog. Oh my gosh. And then they added the creaking, which, by the way, the creaking only exists really to give you special orange bricks, which was weird because why can't we just dye the bricks, with the flowers and the cauldrons that we've had for like forever? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why they do that. But here's the thing about the respawn anchors, okay? It explodes after a certain amount of uses. Why does it do that? Why does it need to explode? You know what I mean? So you're telling me if I'm in the nether and I set up a respawn beacon, I have to spend time building a little safe room for the respawn beacon only for it to eventually blow up that safe room? Why? Why is that a thing? So if I build like a little nether base, I have to make sure I make a separate little nether box separate from everything else that isn't gonna get, so that my main base isn't exploded when the respawn anchor eventually fails. Why is that? Why is that a thing? Why can't it just be a respawn anchor? You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's crazy. You know, and it's wild. Also, for the respawn anchor, we need one for the end. It doesn't work for the end the same way it works for the nether, which is strange. It's very strange. Anyway, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all later.